Okay, hey folks. Sorry for all the back and forth. This has been a bumpy ride. I was completely unable to get the. I was unable to get the YouTube event thing running, and I have now switched to my old streaming setup. So somehow it seems like there's a complete different setup required to stream for one of these events compared to doing live streams. Well, that's at least my experience right now, because whatever I was trying to stream into one of these, into my event settings, it just wasn't good enough, and I just couldn't use my standard setup. So I thought, whatever, let's just use my normal streaming setup and get this done before I'm wasting more time, because I'm already getting my after work Friday beer, and if I'm wasting more time here, I'm going to be pretty drunk, which is not really such a great idea. Yeah, I hope some of you guys are going to join in here. I am really sorry I had to cancel the stupid event thing. I'm just not content creator enough to master this kind of stuff. I have to watch more YouTube videos on how to do YouTube events. Probably join a couple YouTube events on how to do YouTube events. It is ungodly hot and dry around here in Europe this time of the year. I'm glad some people are jumping in. Sorry for teasing you with this stupid event thing all day. I thought it was super funny, and I had a blast writing all the stuff up and making it up and making a nice teaser and stuff, but kind of failed. I hope you like the camera angle. I was trying to do something different for this 1K subscriber video, so I tried playing around with a little webcam, which gave me a pretty shitty visual. So I thought, yeah, it's kind of, I didn't get this Sony camera for nothing, and probably a good idea. Yeah, so different angle this time. This time I'm talking a lot more. I didn't want to come up with something that I put on the desk just to keep you entertained while I talk most of the video. So let's cut to the point. If I, it's a bit funny because I'm kind of mirrored in the picture here. There's a little screen there. If I look a bit red, I've spent a bit too much time in the sun. I usually don't, as you can see, because the white balance is pretty good. Yeah, so I thought a fun video to do for this amazing event of 1,000 subscribers would be doing a Q&A with questions never asked, like questions no one asked, but things that people talk about. You know, I'm from the same country that that after bringing down the Gestapo, instantly came up with the Stasi. So I kind of like to sneak around, read up on people where they don't suspect me to. Yeah. So I kind of searched. I searched my nickname on a couple of chats and sites and communities that I don't frequently post in, and a lot of people aren't really aware that I'm reading there. I get very few mentions, like the at mentions, but people do mention my nickname every once in a while, and it's commonly, it is, I have to say, it's like it's pretty okay. I'm not even, I don't want to complain. Even like, should I start with the little teaser pig that I was putting in? I don't know if anyone's been looking at the event page beforehand with my little teaser. Let me check something. I hope people aren't stuck in this stupid event. I'm gonna write something. Yeah, it's an event. It's not a build stream, so I can take all the time I want. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. So if you've got if you want to tell me something, put it in the chat. I'm gonna answer questions from the chat. Nothing too personal, please. Today's guest is a German classic, something you should definitely try when you're in Munich. Augustiner Edelstoff. Oh yeah, getting back to my nice little teaser pick. I want to start with this. Yeah, when reading up on some of the comments, there were some reoccurring themes, and there was one guy. It was really funny. Very few people are really offensive or anything, and this one guy's like, he was literally like, I don't like Wodan. He went on. Other people were like, "What's wrong with him? Like, I've never met him, so I don't have an opinion." And this guy was like, "I think he's an asshole." And I was like, "That's pretty strong." But he actually had a point. He went on and said, "Read up on his Desoldering comments." And that's the first point I want to talk about, because these are the points I've been taking. White. These are the points I've been taking. I've got terrible handwriting, which is one of the reasons why I'm in mechanical keyboards, obviously. So this guy was like, "Yeah, Wodan's an asshole because look at his Desoldering comments." And well, what can I say? Like, touche. That is hard to argue with, because this guy's actually done his research and he made a conclusion, and he's certainly not wrong. I'm partially a very opinionated guy, and I react very hostile towards bullshit. One of the things I hate more than everything else is people pissing on my neck and telling me it's raining. I don't know what movie that is from, but I just love this proverb. Because that's what's going on a lot in these communities. That's what's going on a lot with products that have been marketed. That's what's going on a lot with people justifying the shit and the scummy moves and the nasty stuff they're doing in the keyboard community. And there's a lot of shit going on like this. And I don't really run around and yell at everybody, and I'm not very I'm not an all around drama queen. But when it comes to stuff that happens on Desoldering, because I feel very associated with the site and I associate with a lot of the people there, I have a much lower tolerance, and I call people out on their shit, and I get into arguments with people, and I get very intense when I really get into an argument. I'm trying to not do this. I'm trying to stay out of this. I'm trying to stay out of a lot of the political arguments that are going on in Desoldering, which are just a cesspool. Like, you don't want to touch that. So my Desoldering comments. You might come to the conclusion I'm an asshole when you look at my certain Desoldering comments I make. And I think it's a valid opinion. You can definitely think that, because I'm very opinionated. I have a strong opinion about some people, and I keep voicing it. And I'm not really willing to let something slip or go or unspoken. Yeah, and Desoldering is a great place, because I gotta say, there's most of the people are kind of adult, so you can have intense arguments. You can really get hand to hand with people, and kind of still keep things civilized. It doesn't always spiral off or end in something Godwin's law like. So yeah. What's a Godwin's law of mechanical keyboards, like calling something a Cherry MX Blue? Yeah. Or a Cherry MI. Yeah, that's one of the fun things I did. I said a couple of good things on that story too. I've got 2.5K comments there, and growing, maybe 3K. Post a lot of my useful stuff, like not the kind of entertainment stuff, build stream, chatter, custom switch modding, which everyone's get everyone's mouth watering or pulse up. I've done a lot of other research, and brings me to one of the questions from the chat. There's a dude in the chat called WizBlue. He asked me what happened to sandblasting keycaps. Sandblasting keycaps is a hot topic. It's hot and it's running, and I've kept doing it. It's great. I messed up one key set, so I did have one very bad sandblasting experience. So kind of come to the conclusion that you should always be careful with sandblasting. Always see if the plastic is actually reacting well to sandblasting. I've written a lot about sandblasting. All the details about my setup are on Desoldering in some thread. I've posted tons of pics. I haven't done a video on it yet, which is a surprise because I put everything on video that I can upload to YouTube. Should be doing that maybe, but it's kind of difficult to get this on video because it's kind of happening inside the sandblasting cabinet, and nothing that can record video I don't have anything that can record video that I would put inside there while I'm sandblasting, so I can mostly just give you before after thingies. But sandblasting keycaps is really awesome. Oblotsky's asking what's up with sandblasting SA caps. Tried that in the initial days because SA caps, of course, they're great because they have they kind of have a standard surface which is shiny blank. Yeah, you can get a good impression what effect the sandblasting itself had, and not what the sandblasting effect was on a partially shiny surface mixed with the previously rough up surface texture. But problem about, like, one thing that bothers me about SA caps and sandblasting is they have a sandblasting will always give you kind of say a little bit of collateral damage on the sides of the keycaps, which isn't such a big thing with cherry keycaps because the sides of the cherry keycaps are not very prominent. But with SA caps, it's a lot different. Like especially the row 1 caps and the bottom row, they have very exposed sides, and they are supposed to be, they're expected to be also this shiny mirror finish. So when you start sandblasting them from the top, you are going to get kind of uneven sandblasting results on the sides, giving them an uneven grain or texture, unless you kind of go the whole mile. Is that something you say? Unless you go all the way and take your SA caps, sandblast the tops, then take every individual cap and sandblast the sides. Like I've got to do movements up here. Sandblast the sides evenly. Yeah. Why do I sandblast caps? Because they get shiny, and the best way to remove shine is to sandblast, because sandblasting is actually going to break up the surface again and give you a texture back that is very, very similar to the original texture. It's there's no other way of doing this, as far as I know. Like I can't think of a different way of treating it, the surface, getting the texture back. Yeah, sandblasting hasn't even been on my list. What's on the top of my list is the whole super lube thing. This has really developed into quite the meme. The whole super loop. I did a video on switch modding. My personal switch modding routine is, I think, what I called it. And yeah, I did a couple of things, and like pretty much everything in this video I have done. A lot of the things in the video I have done have of course sparked controversy because switch modding is a bit like religion. Like even the Christians found reasons to kill each other about details. And yeah, like even if we all agree that this is the greatest switch in the world, and we gotta mod them and we gotta loop them, The details are what drives us craziest the most. Crazy the most, yeah. So I am not actually using super lube for everything that I lube. I have done a huge amount, like a vast amount of switches. I have actually lubed with Krytox. This is actually, you won't believe it, this is 1/2 kilo of Krytox. The stuff has got twice the density of water, so it strikes me every time how heavy this little bottle is. So I have done tons of switch lubing with Krytox, and I always loved it. The results always been great, but I have also had great result with super lube, and I know by my own experience what a huge drag it can be, and how super difficult it can be to get your hands on some Krytox, because that's what I've been trying to get for half a year when I was new in the game. And I found it quite frustrating. So I thought, well, why not do a switch modding video where you use materials that aren't like as easy to get as moon rocks. And I thought, well, Superloop's giving me good results. Why not do a demonstration with Superloop? Yeah, which is up to this day still working fine for my switches. I haven't heard any good arguments against Superloop. I know a couple of people who use it, and they've all had good results from it. Yeah, so far I haven't been struck by aging or by stickiness or by drying out or something like that. Yeah, but I'm not affiliated with the Superloop, and I do use other loops for other occasions, and especially for linears. I kind of like the Krytox feel a lot. Superloop is something I really like in clears. It's kind of like the dry loop feeling in the clears, while I like to have this ever liquid kind of never drying Krytox loop in the light linears, because it makes them so quick. Yeah, that's all the thing about lube. Same thing with all the other modding stuff. Brings me to my next point, something I keep emphasizing on. It's a personal preference. Yeah. Yeah, always keep in mind that whoever is telling you this and that is the best way to do this switch thing, building thing, all the things that you see in my videos are just what I personally think is best. And first of all, I definitely haven't tested all the ways, all the materials, all the switches, all the weights, all the combinations. I certainly haven't done that. I have settled for a certain switch feel, a type feeling quite a while ago, and I have tried yeah, kind of perfect, like finding the very perfect combination of this for myself. Oh yeah, especially the bag lubing, of course. Yeah, I didn't even put that on my list here. The bag lubing is something I started when it was getting really tedious modding lots of switches, because I do a lot of builds. I don't recycle switches, so I have to keep modding them. Actually, applying the lube with a brush turned out to be the most tedious part, or like the part I personally didn't like the most. Like I hated this part the most, let's put it that way. So I was desperate for an alternative, and I was suggested to do this bag lubing, and the original the dude who told me about the bag lubing, Kin, he's actually doing it in a different way. I don't even want to say that this is the way the Koreans do it. That's what some people concluded. It's not the way the Koreans do it, and it's not really what Kin told me. He told me he is using something. Let me show you. he's using something like this. I figured. I haven't really found the precise stuff that he gets. He gets some special stuff from Korea. From Japan, which cannot be sent by airmail, so they kind of get it by ship from Japan. This is like a PTFE lube spray. And from what I figured is that he uses one of these dry lube sprays. He puts the little the tip, like the little pipe here, into the bag, and then inflates the bag with the spray, and then closes it and then shakes it. And this is actually what he does. Since I didn't have such a spray, I thought, well, I've got these Ziploc bags, and I've got some Krytox around here. This is where is it? This is the first time I bought Krytox. I bought like this 10 milliliter syringe, and it was lasting forever. Like, this stuff really lasts forever. And I thought, well, let's just find out. Like, I'm gonna sacrifice 1 or 2 milliliters of this stuff. Let's find out how well it distributes when I just put it into the bag and just shake it well for a long time. And it turned out that I was actually I was trying to put a small amount of lube into it, and even the small amount was like plenty. So it was always too much. So I thought, well, that's pretty neat, because I need a lot less lube than I thought. There's still a lot of lube left in the bag, so I just pushed out all the air out of the bag and sealed it again. And I reused it. Next time I was a bit more cautious with the lube, and the results, the results I was getting were pretty awesome. Of course, I was getting lube at places that I didn't need it to be, but I never had any issues with excessive excessive lube is not really good. But getting lube into places that you don't necessarily need, like for example the cross stem, I've never had issues with the keycap, with the keycaps coming off because of Krytox on the cross stems. It's never been an issue. So I thought, well, yeah, it's good. I don't see a downside, and I'm saving like 20 minutes per batch of keys. It's already annoying enough to kind of put the switch films in properly and put the springs in, and make sure the sliders don't come off when you push the housings in. So yeah. Okay, that's all about these the switch modding. Make up your own mind. Try out different stuff. If you're not sure about something, don't use your best switches. Like, you can always there's always super cheap switches you can get somewhere, or you can just clean switches that you kind of messed up by modding them the wrong way in an ultrasonic cleaner. Get an ultrasonic cleaner. That's what you should definitely do. Oh yeah, one more thing. I did a video on building a custom kit where I built like a crap kit. I had tons of old MX Blue stems, and I had some cheap Xenon 32 kits. So I built a very cheap kit, and I made it like into an instructional video, like, hey, this is how you build a kit. And back then I didn't clip the stabs, and that was really a stupid idea. I should have clipped the stabs, because this is something you shouldn't forget, and this is something you can't do after you build the kit. Like, once you soldered a couple of switches, it's very hard to get the stabs out and clip them. So maybe I can add a caption to the video or something saying like, no, clip the stabs first and then go on building. I think I've been using clipped stabs, or been clipping my stabs ever since then, but for this video back then I didn't clip it. I didn't clip them, and yeah, it's a bit sad, because this video is passed around a lot because it's got this catchy title, but it's pretty much just like most other build streams I've done. I think it's just one of the first ones. I think it's from 2016, I think. So it's actually an older video. And you've seen me take apart a couple of my early builds, and they're really a mixed bag. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hi, tons of people joining the chat. Great to see some big names here as well. Really glad some people made it into this live stream after the YouTube event failed phenomenally. The lube on the cross stem disappearing pretty fast. WizBlue is claiming that, or he's saying that from his experience. It doesn't happen with Krytox. Krytox kind of doesn't disappear. Like even after removing the keycap, you kind of get like these tiny mini drops of lube still left somewhere on the stem. But yeah, they never affected keycap fit for me. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not done with my points. My desoldering setup, and this is one of the nicest topics. Like a lot of people fancy my desoldering setup. Yeah, it's super overblown for this purpose here. On the other hand, I don't think there's many situations where I can't think of many other applications for a desoldering machine where you actually do more actual desoldering, like getting switches, like harvesting switches is probably the big use case for desoldering machines altogether. I guess most desoldering irons on this planet are probably taken apart, like reworking some kind of PCB every half a year and fixing a couple of soldering mistakes every now and then, and like doing 3 boards in a row, desoldering almost 1,000 joints. That's something that doesn't happen very often. So I think getting a proper desoldering iron in this hobby, if you're serious about it, is definitely something you should consider. But getting the one that I got is not really worth the investment. There are other alternatives that are like 1/10 the price, with let's say 80% the comfort. Most namely, there's one desoldering machine that is commonly available in Europe, Germany, all over Europe. It is called the ZD915. I have been recommending this to people for years now. I've actually had this, the ZD915. I've actually had this for quite a while. I've been desoldering dozens of boards with it. And what really made me switch up my game was, first of all, I was getting this machine that I have now. I was getting it for a pretty decent price because it was like a demo unit. Second thing is I wanted a desoldering iron with a foot switch. And it's this thing here. Oh, can we see it? No. Here. And that is so cute. That's really cute because these desoldering irons all have like a trigger or a button you have to push, and you want to adjust your grip when you desolder a lot. Like when you have a long desoldering session, you want to adjust your grip, and you can't always have a trigger or a button finger on the button with all the kinds of grips that you want to use to relieve stress of your wrists and stuff. So getting a foot switch is awesome because you can hold the desoldering iron whichever way you want. Like you can hold it in your fist and desolder stuff like with a dagger. Like not really, but you could still trigger the suction with the foot switch. Yeah. What sucks is in winter because I always take my shoes off to trigger it. Your feet get cold, but not really complaining about that. Oh, Zambumon is online. Oh yeah. For those who haven't found out, a little promo here. GMK Space Cat is live on Mass Drop today. Yay! I'm not sponsored or anything, but Oblotsky's been working on it hard, and I've already put my order in. It's going to be a great kit. And a couple of years from, month from now, when you're rewatching this video, you're going to be like, oh damn, that's when GMK Space Cat was live. And now I'm paying $250 second hand on Mac Market. The regrets. Nixies. Nixies are they're an obsession for me, because it's a story time. Gotta do all the YouTube stuff. Story time. I gotta change the title here. So what happened is, I think 2 years ago there was this seller Bruno Muck on German eBay, and he was shelling out these Nixie CT06 boards. I think he was offering them at 150, but he was auto accepting offers at $50. And at that time I was clueless, and I thought, oh well, I was mostly on the hunt for caps because I thought Cherry was shit, and I was deep into Gatoran, and I thought, well, these keycaps look exotic. They're supposed to be double shots, so I got one for $50. And the whole thing exploded. Everyone was raiding his store. He was quickly changing his auto accepting to 75, $100. Then he was putting up some for auction for 120. I was like, I'm never gonna pay 120 for a Nixie board. And then I kind of started getting realizing it was all about the switches and not about the keycaps. And people were getting their Nixie boards. A lot of people in Eastern Europe, they were really making tons of money flipping these around. So it was like a flip fest, and it was a big drama because the guy took ages to ship these boards. And when I finally got my board, it was the biggest troll ever, and I think to this day it's still a curiosity, because my board, it was legit, it was the real thing, but it came with MX whites. And it didn't just come with MX whites. I have never seen a CT06 with MX whites since then. It came with MX whites, and it had a single Nixie switch in a random position. So what's going on? Oh yeah, never mind. Chat's going wild. Yeah, so it had a single Nixie switch, which was just like such a kick to the head. And yeah, I kind of wanted these Nixies now, so I've been like intensively hogging eBay then, very unhealthy. So a couple of weeks later, another Nixdorf board comes up. It arrives here. I open the package. A couple of days of waiting, excitement. I open it up, and it's these magnetic Siemens switches. Again, very hard to distinguish those. So it was in a good condition. I put it into my collection. I paid like $80. It was okay. And a little while later, another CT06, and the CT06 at that time was still considered to be sure Nixie donors, and it arrived, and it turned out to be another one of these magnetic Siemens switches, magnetic valve switches. Like, how unlucky can you get? And that's when I was really getting frustrated, because the board, it was looking exactly like one of these Nixie boards. Another dude on Desoldering had the same thing happen to him just a couple of days ago, and he got like a very good looking US layout CT06. I didn't even know US layout CT06 existed. It was in a great condition, and it had these fake Nixies, the fixies. But my luck changed, because I actually found I found a dude who was into Nixies. Oh no, sorry. I found a dude who was into Nixdorf computers, and he was willing to trade me his Nixie CT06 for my magnetic valve CT06. So I sent him my magnetic valve board, and he sent me his Nixie board, and this was my first Nixie board, and I was like, oh my god, I finally got a Nixie board. Maybe I can squeeze two 60% boards out of this. I bought like 15 loose Nixie switches. At that time, the offer was on Desoldering for like a couple of weeks. I paid like, I think $3 or $4 per Nixie. Some dude sold me, he had some leftovers, so I got enough to build two 60%. And then I had then I got lucky a couple of times, and now I never have to worry about Nixies again. Yeah, I have not run out of Nixies. Okay, oh yeah, another good one, adapter. I think I've mentioned it before, and a couple of people ask me about it every once in a while. Like when I was still reasonably new to the community. I think it was my first year on Desoldering. I ran a group by there, and okay, Nathan Kim. I think he's the guy he does a lot of typing videos on YouTube. Yeah, selling Nixies. Okay, yeah, that's probably something I haven't really put this on here. Selling Nixies is really, really hard. Like I've actually seen people talk about this too when I was doing my Stasi work. And the problem is, stuff like Nixies, they do have a market value. People try to sell them for a very high price on Mac Market or on eBay every once in a while, and they actually get bought for very high prices. So I am not comfortable selling them at these high prices, or at least trying to sell them at these high prices. So I can either sell them at a low price, just waiting for people to resell them at a high price, or I can not sell them and just use them myself. And yeah, just it's like the lesser of two evils. Like some people like the Nathan dude. I think we're gonna get in touch on Desoldering. Maybe we can figure something out. But mostly, I do sell Nixies every once in a while. It's usually people asking me for Nixies, and I usually give them like a kind of okay rate, okayish rate. But yeah, don't judge me by these prices, because I never wanted to sell Nixies. So if you ask me for Nixies, I'm going to give you a not so good rate. Other stuff that I sell, I usually sell stuff at very good rates. I've been doing tons of selling on Desoldering. I've been giving away other stuff like my rabbit hole kit. I haven't done this in a while because it lost traction a little bit. So I've always been trying to give stuff away for community prices for people on Desoldering who seem to care for stuff. But with Nixies it's very difficult. As soon as a lot of money is involved, stuff gets difficult. Sorry, I'm not even talking about you, Nathan. I think let's get in touch on Desoldering, and let's talk about this there, and see what we can figure out. Yeah, it's the same thing. Some of you might have witnessed that there was this this ungodly, like this never before seen, hard to believe haul of Cyrillic cherry dye subs in Russia and the Ukraine. These guys were getting like a literal truckload of new in-box cherry SAV caps. SAV caps, yeah. And what were they to do? Like they kind of sold them at a price that was like market. Like it was on the bottom range of the market rate, but it was still like more than a lot of people were hoping. But I understand it. I mean, yeah, I hate being so obscene, but it's it's you're either the fucker or you get fucked. And selling stuff like that cheap to the community is gonna get you fucked, and it's gonna get you frustrated. I've talked to some veteran Desoldering members, and there's actually one veteran guy on Desoldering who's left the community a while ago, who was mostly getting very upset about tons of people on Desoldering, like highly regarded community members. I don't want to name any people, but highly regarded community members that were getting Nixies from him back then. Like he must have had the mother load of Nixie hauls. He was giving these out for very cheap before they were even known to be worth a lot, and people were flipping them hard. And this was frustrating him so much that he kind of put a dent in his interest in the community. And it's very difficult. That's very difficult when you get your hands on something that is like you can see a lot of, you can learn a lot about the character of people. It tells you a lot how people treat situations like that. When they get their hands on something that is really worth like a significant amount of money, and how they react, like how they justify, and how they kind of what they tell themselves to keep their own self-respect for what they do. Yeah, it's really funny. Like I'm kind of preaching here, sitting on a high horse, because I'm not really that dependent on my keyboard profits. But I've seen people take do the right thing that are also not very well off. So there's always good examples of people doing the one thing and the other thing. It's basically the whole flipping that's going on in the community. People buying stuff off eBay just to put it back on eBay for a higher price. This is just poison to a community. This is just artificially inflating prices just because people are paying attention and making their cut. This is something I don't have any sympathy for. Oh yeah, I've got a very specific opinion on that. Some people kind of call me like a bit unclear on that topic, or claim that I'm having dual standards there, but it's probably just because I don't really explain it very well. I think that if you come up with great stuff, like if you drive to a place and you dig up tons of old IBM keyboards and you put them on eBay at market rate, it is your good right, because you sourced these, you dug them up from somewhere and you made them available to the community, and make your profit. It's your right. People like Cindy for example, from Electronics Plus, it's a great reseller, recycling reseller in America. It's her job to find stuff. She kind of travels the whole US to find good old electronics, and she does a lot of keyboard selling, and she has been selling stuff so cheap to the community. I think no one has ever been flipped off that many times by her buyers as she has. And she's still taking it. She's still taking it smiling. What I actually consider flipping is people grabbing stuff just to sell it for a higher price, like stuff that would otherwise be available to people who actually want the stuff for much cheaper, but someone else grabs it faster, adds his profit, and then resells it, and that's just inflating prices. That is stuff that could have found the right buyer straight away, but someone else was faster just to make a profit. And this is really something that kind of it ruins the community, because we are just making stuff more expensive for us, because some people think they have to be speculating with this stuff. Yeah, and that's a lot of the eBay hogging that's going on is people who are, of course, they all still have stuff they want to collect, but they're also just buying certain things because they know they can sell them for higher. And that's just one of the reasons why prices keep rising for certain things. I mean, I still can't explain the prices for IBM stuff these days. I thought I could get an unsaver for less than $500, but yeah, I kind of missed my opportunity there. Okay, let's see if I've got some more topics. Adapter. Yeah, we've talked about adapter before. No, I talked about adapter. We haven't done anything. Let me check the chat. Yeah, when I'm talking about flipping, it's nothing personal. Like most of the times. Like I prefer the people who say, well, I'm a flipper, I do it for money, and you know who you're talking to. The people I have personal problems with are the backstabbers that kind of they kind of justify it for themselves, and they can't admit it to themselves, and that's why they're good flippers, because they make you believe that they actually want to buy the stuff. And then flip it, and still feel good about it. That's one of the big problems. But yeah, I'm just very opinionated there, and I'm just a bit. I think I have a personal issue with that, because I feel like someone's taking advantage of me, and this is something I just don't like. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. It gives me frustration, and that's just something that's my issue. So I'm making this more of an issue than it is probably is, but it is an issue to me. So yeah, as with all the things that I say, your personal opinion, preference, your personal stand on things, your personal view might be totally different. It's nothing that is set in stone. There's no rule that flipping is a bad thing. Some people might actually be able to get through college, and then they become a doctor, and they save my life because they get into an accident because I'm drunk driving on my way back from a stream. So yeah, this might happen as well. Again, adapter. I try to dodge this. This is a group buy I did in my early days. I think 2015, 2016 maybe. I'm a bit special when it comes to owing people. I don't like to owe people. So I didn't want to do the whole group buy thing the traditional way, where you kind of do an interest check. I didn't want to do an interest check because I give a fuck about other people's opinion. I did show my kit to a couple people. I got a little bit of input, but after all, this is not a democracy. Like this place here is not a democracy. It is my little kingdom. Yeah, it's a kingdom. That's probably a politically correct way to put it. And yeah, I wasn't really. I knew what I wanted. I got some input from people. There was actually a couple of things that I was uncertain about, like, for example, what's the best way to do the caps lock thing, text or German arrow or a French handbag or whatever. And some other things, the diamonds. I was getting help from Matteo there. But in the end, I kind of had an idea. I wanted them for myself mostly. And I was kind of confident I was getting 150 sales. So what I was actually doing is I was just paying GMK upfront. And as soon as I had the payment confirmed and the production confirmed, I was starting to take orders. I was like, okay, guys, let's get started. Throw your orders in. I'm gonna take orders, I think, for 4 weeks or something like that. And I think I think I didn't take a single cent from group buy permission participants um, before I paid GMK, because I didn't want to take money that hasn't been like like I didn't want to be holding people's money. I feel very uncomfortable with this. I didn't want to go through funding and stuff, and yeah. So yeah, this is like, I'm just talking way too much about the details here. This is why this was a very well received group buy, because it was so fast. Because I pretty much paid before the whole group buy started. And they actually squeezed me in before the summer break, before the summer vacation, and they were just super nice to me, and I think we got along well, GMK and I, and I got them super quick. There was absolutely zero faults or mistakes in the keycaps, and I sent them out rather quickly. Yeah, it was a fun group buy. It was smooth, it was fast, and they sold like hotcakes. And I ended up having zero left. Like, I gave away a board. I gave a friend like a G80 board for his office, and I later found out that it was my last adapter. I don't have any adapter left. I've got 2 boards that have adapter caps, but I don't have a single kit left. People have kept asking me, and it was like dudes who were like, "Oh, you promised me adapter." I was like, "Oh shit, I did. Here's one." Other dudes were like, "Oh man, my packet got lost in something," and I think I got the insurance or something like that. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, I ended up having 0 adapters left. So yeah, of course, and because of the group I was well received, and these adapter kits are always in great demand. Adapter 2 was a sure thing. I started the interest check. I already had my ideas. I kept pushing it, and something else happened. There was this huge thing on Desoldering 2016, I think, the Model MF project with Lord Lizard. He and I we were getting along well, and he had this idea. He wanted to do a cheap a cheap version of the X What's It controller, so a beam spring and Model F, and we were doing a group buy for this, and he wanted to organize the production and the getting stuff done. He gave me the prices, and I ran the group buy. So I ran the group buy. It was also very popular. People put in lots of orders. I collected the money. I collected part of the money via SEPA, like SEPA payments, bank transfers, and yeah, that's the moment where he kind of got disappeared. Thank God I didn't send him the money. And I mean, he was a straight up dude. He refunded everyone from the Model MF group buy as well. But he also never actually fulfilled the whole controller group buy. And the whole group buy was depending on him doing the fulfillment. So thankfully I didn't send him the money, so I didn't have to run for that. And I'm not even hinting that he wouldn't have sent it back to me, returned it to me, but we could have lost tons of money in the progress, like going from US dollar to euro back and forth can really have an impact when the exchange rate changes. The fees are super nasty. So thankfully that didn't happen. But I had all this money, and people kept asking me, when are we going to get it? When are we going to get it? And at a certain point, I had to admit, I can't get in touch with Lord Lizard anymore. And I had to refund everybody. Like, refunding the PayPal dudes is pretty easy. You just go there and say, refund. I refunded all of these. And then I had like 30 bank transfers I had to refund. And that was really pissing me off. I had to sit there and type in 20, 25, 30 bank transfers and send everyone their money back. And that bothered me so much. It kind of like gave me group buy frustration. enough group buy frustration for the whole of like 2017, because this is what happened in early 2017. I was still pushing Headapter 2 forward. I was getting some great ideas, the whole split thing, split keyboard, getting a slimmer bass kit and stuff, and more diamonds. Yeah, it was tons of ideas. But yeah, I got tangled up in so many other keyboard stuff. I've got so many keyboards I have to sell. I started getting heavy into customs, doing these build streams, modding switches. I'm trying to sell tons of keyboards for Cindy from Electronics Plus. She shipped over here. I'm selling these under commission, so I'm way behind the schedule there. Yeah, I just didn't see enough time I could dedicate to a Headapter 2 group buy that would justify running it. Because when I run one of these group buys, I want it to be streamlined. I want to get the kits done. I want to get them finalized. I want to get a quote. I want to pay. I want to get the orders in. I want to collect the payments. I want to do all this without delays. I want to keep all the deadlines, and I want to do it quick. I don't want boxes of keycaps sitting around here, not shipping them out because I don't have the time. Because this is something I know myself. This is something that just it's in the back of my head, and it keeps pushing me from there, and I can't get rid of it. And this is why I'm having such a hard time committing myself to doing the new Headapter 2 group buy, despite the fact that I have actually promised that I was going to run it. It's a bit like usually I'm having a very hard time backing out from the things that I really promised, and but at this moment I can just say I think it's better to postpone it a little bit than to run it half-assed. And I'm not going to do a half-assed group buy ever. And yeah, this is why I've got yeah, I think I just have to build all these stupid kits over there. They're not stupid. I love them. And desolder all of these keyboards over there, and then sell all of these, sell the room full of keyboards over there. Some of you have seen pictures. I've built a storage system for my recycler keyboards because they're just getting too many. Okay. Anything else? I think we're hitting an hour now. I think we can actually do some more Q&A now. I haven't really been able to follow the chat really well because it's something about Trump currently. It's a contemporary thing. If you're watching this video in a couple of years, back then Trump was just the president of the United States and not the world ruler he is today. Oh, the recycler dudes. Oh, of course. The whole recycling thing. Yeah, the recycling things. Yeah, I like back when I was still a little keyboard kid 2 years ago. I was just super amazed by the things that Gyros was pulling out of the recycler. So I thought, well, there's got to be a recycler nearby, and I've got to try it. So what I did is I did this whole story in a thread on Desoldering as well, and I'm using lots of funny descriptions there. So I'm gonna try it again because this is YouTube, and you guys you don't want to head over to Desoldering and read my asshole comments. So yeah, I just went to the pickup place. Like there's always a place where you bring your waste electronics. Like at least in Europe probably, because you're obligated to have you're obligated to bring your stuff to a collection point, and the state is obligated to have these collection points. So I went to the collection point, and I was offloading like probably 15-20 keyboard corpses, and I asked the dude where all the stuff is taken, because at these points it is absolutely strictly forbidden to take out anything of the trash, because otherwise the places would be hogged by people who just go through the trash and just put it into their old rusty Ford Transits. So he told me, oh well, the collection place for this whole county, and I'm living in one of the most one of the bigger counties of this country. The collection point for this whole county is right behind the this collection point. I was like, oh wow, I never knew that. And there was actually like a big hall, and I just never driven down that road. I drove over there, and I just walked up to the people. It was a couple of people in yellow vests. They look like the Dutch national team, but they're actually garbage men over here. So there was a couple of people in these bright orange vests, and I just walked up to the first guy who spoke German, and I asked him what's going on here, and that I wanted to pick up some keyboards. And he was like, the boss is on vacation. Come back in 3 weeks. I came back 3 weeks later. I was like, hey, here I am again. I want keyboards. He was like, come in. I talked to the boss, and the boss was like, it's really funny because the place is actually government run, so it's all a bit chill there. No one's got to make money. They're doing a lot of job like inclusion thing, getting people back into the work life and stuff. So it was pretty chill. I talked to the guy. He was super happy to speak to someone in fluent German. And I told him what my plan is, and he was absolutely excited, because these guys were like completely disillusioned by the work that they're actually doing. On the one hand, there was like tons of drunken people of all colors, just sitting around there waiting for the bell to ring to go back home and get drunk and colorful again. And the recycling they were doing was probably was definitely non-existing. All the stuff was just shred and burned. They were just sorting it so that it could be burned and shred more effectively. And he said, well, that's the first time someone's actually trying to do some recycling, like recycling as in reusing and taking stuff apart and making a fortune on eBay. So he said, but yeah, of course we have to get things handled. Okay, yeah, we're in Germany, in Europe. There's like tons of rules. First of all, if they sell secondhand stuff, if they let me have stuff for money, it is a rule in the European Union that they have to give me a 12-month warranty if I am a private entity. Like as a private person, if you buy from a company any kind of used goods, you get a 1-year warranty. So first thing, I had to register a business. Funny thing, I have my own business, so I told them, just send me an invoice. I am a company, can't you see? So they liked that. I had to get some safety stuff like steel cap shoes. I had those. I had to get one of these Dutch soccer jerseys, like these orange vests, for these garbage men vests. And I had to get something else. Oh yeah, I got some gloves, but I'm always wearing these. Like I don't even take them off after streams. I'm just taking these off right now because I don't want to get any beer on them. So the deal was like he talked to his superiors, and they were all like, "Oh yeah, we're politicians. We're just here to collect some extra tax money. Yeah, do whatever you want." And they let me do it. They actually started doing this, and it's super cheap because they don't pay for the labor, because everyone there is just on a job reassessment, whatever, reintroduction program. So people are like, they don't get paid. So all the stuff, all the work they put into selecting the keyboards for me is pretty much free. So every couple of weeks they call me, and I've got like a couple of tons of keyboards, and I go through like all of them, and I come home with 10 to 20 to 30 nice vintage ones. No Nixies though. I want to be clear about this. I've never found a single Nixie. I have found Nixdorf keyboards. I think we've all seen them. I'm pretty excited about them. They've got the little 1.5 unit enter key. So cute. But no Nixies ever. I have found Model Fs by now. Like, I have to admit, I found some Model Fs. It was pretty epic. I still, I shouldn't be standing up for another 5 minutes. And I'm paying the dudes €5 per keyboard that I take home. I've taken home keyboards that are worth less. But I made myself a promise. No MX switch ever left behind. And no double shots ever left. Like, no cherry double shots ever left behind. So, taking home the G81's, G81 3000 HAD keyboards is kind of getting tiring. I'm filling boxes with these keycaps. I should be selling these keycaps. I should be doing so many things. Operation Darling. Exactly. I'm calling it Operation Darling because, I can be... no one's going to go there anyway. If you go there, I'm going to... I'm calling it Operation Darling because the place is right next to a brothel that is called Darling. It's so funny because, like, it's kind of risky because usually when I'm done at the recycler, I get back into my car and I have a smile from ear to ear, and I'm a bit sweaty, and I'm driving out of the street that comes from the brothel. I'm always trying to do my best to not look like I just had a €500 threesome. It's really funny. So funny going past there. And the people are so super nice. Every time I come there, I'm like, oh yeah, the dude, like the dude who what do you call it? Like the foreman. Yeah, the foreman. He's a really cool dude. He always comes like, he doesn't remember my name. Oh, there's the young keyboard lad again. And they're all super happy because they love the idea that actually some recycling's going on. And every time I find like a few keyboards, when I leave there with 10, 15 keyboards, they're like, oh, I hope you still found some good ones. I hope you're coming back. So I think it's really worth trying your local recycler. Don't email them. Don't call them. Go there. These are people you have to go there. Like, these are the kinds of people that you have to shake their hand, look into their eye, tell them, hey, I'm here doing this and that. This is nothing you can do from your racing gaming chair with your Razer keyboard. Hey, I want to get some keyboards. No, they're gonna be like, you gotta go there, talk to them, make it credible to them that you want to pick up these keyboards. And I think especially in Germany, since tons of these places are government run and pretty much non-profit, they're gonna love the idea. Okay, let's check the chat again. Neon Green Alps? No. No, I haven't found any good Alps. Germany is really not an Alps country, despite being a neighboring country of the Alps. Now you know. I have found some... oh no, I removed them. I have found some neon green Kyle switches. Razer switches. That's one of the fun facts of my recycler life is the only gaming keyboard I have ever found is a Razer. And I have found 6 of them. that either they are super popular or they are just crap. Because I mean, there's other gaming brands. I have never found a Corsair. I've never found a Cooler Master. Nothing. Only razors, and like a lot of them, 5, 6 of them. Oh yeah, a podcast with Gyros. Um, I think we're like in different. We're like in different sub communities. I think he's the vintage guy, and he's getting um, very enthusiastic about these vintage keyboards and about their details, while I'm more interested in the modern custom building, tinkering, fiddling around, kind of modding, converting stuff. So not really sure if you could find a great topic for a joint podcast, except for the differences between Cherry and Alps, which is of course wink. Oh yeah, there's got to be more European stuff going on. I say a lot, right? Probably because I haven't had my second beer yet. So European stuff. I've hosted a spontaneous German mini meetup a couple of weeks ago. Faxe is also in the chat. He was here. He had time. It was really fun. Hey, someone's looking for attention. Hey, come here. Come, kitty kitty. Is there a question? No. Yeah, I think there should be like more mini meetups, more get-togethers. We're all kind of close by compared to places like America or something like that. Yeah, maybe we can host more of that kind of stuff. I'll try to do this again soon. I'll be posting it on Desoldering. Next time I'm gonna post it on the international, like on the English part. First time I just tried in the German part because I wanted to keep it really small. I think for a small workshop like Meetup, if you get 5 to 10 people together, that's actually a nice size. I really liked the all-star meetup that we had here with I love the all-star meetup with Oblotsky and Tom Beret and Kexty and King Nesty and Mito and Plastikschnittstelle and who else was there? Am I missing anyone? I'm missing someone, and I'm gonna burn in hell for that. It was really epic because it was a great size. It was like these huge meetups with 100 people where you get like 17.5 seconds per person, and then there's Cherry, and you just want to spend all the time you can with Cherry. So of course it was Zambu. Oh no, Zambu. You've been talking about it just a moment ago. Yes, I'm going to burn in hell. Yeah, right. I'm probably going to be banned from the GMK Jambon group by someone. I picked him up from the railway, right? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was really epic. It was just like Zambomon. Actually, he just came over to Germany for I think 24 hours. That was really intense. Yeah, meetups like that are awesome. We should have more of these. I'm probably gonna do a quick. I always feel I'm polluting the channel when I'm doing the quick and dirty ramble and chatter streams. But maybe I should be doing more of these and just talking about having a nice meetup here, getting some people together. Yeah, you want to use my desorting setup, right? the Nixies are in the safe, and the safe is on like on a night lock. It doesn't open before 6 a.m. So I don't have the combination. People are planning heists on my Nixies. I first started keystring them all, but this has really caused some health issues. I got a save, and it's just locked overnight. You can't get in there. I think that's enough, isn't it? 1,000 subscribers. That is pretty funny because this is such a niche hobby with a niche topic and a niche subject and a niche little desk here. And I'm really amazed by the interest. I just really hope I can find a way to make things right with Zambumon again. Anything else? Oh yeah, we can do a quick lab tour because I think I can partially move the camera. These are my unbuilt kits. Not kids, but kits. A lot. And down there's a little tray. This tray is also full of kits. Kits that are not like in boxes. It is it's pretty. Yeah, the backlog is pretty terrible. I should be working on this. This is the desoldering station. Back there. The vent. Wait. There it is. I'm just playing around now. Just trying to add a couple of minutes to my to improve my monetization. I probably said too many swear words to get monetized anyway. What else? Okay, yeah. Just keep talking about, keep mentioning me in chat. It's a great source for feedback for me. I think it's fun. I absolutely don't mind even if you call me an asshole, and you've got a reason. That's okay. I've been called worse, and I can totally understand your opinion. If you're basing it on things I said, because if you're an opinionated asshole like me, then you can be called out on it. So that's how strong opinions work. They swing both ways. Yeah, probably nice. Zambomon, he's got a question for me. Maybe I can answer it right, and you can make up. My favorite board to build is, of course, anything that Zambomon has designed. Yes? Is this good? No, my favorite board to build is... Let's do this. This one, so it's totally overdue. Red TX 84 SE with the brass plate. I can't wait to build this. Oh, a Desoldering thread with all the stuff that I'm selling. Yeah. Behind the scenes, we're currently working on a small-scale e-commerce solution for on Desoldering for people who sell a lot of boards. It's mainly Cindy from Electronics Plus, me and a couple of other dudes like Orialcon, maybe. Yeah, we're just trying to find a way to to like get away from thread selling to like a slim shop selling. All the tools around me. Yeah. So there's Emil. There's Emil. What do I do with all the tools around me? Well, I live in a house that was built in the 70s, I think, and there's a lot of fixing and renovating work to be done. And I kind of like to do this stuff myself because I neither want to trust or pay people to do this. So I'm doing a lot of handiwork myself. I'm doing a lot of renovation, and I'm trying to build up some skills there to not be depending on other people. So yeah, there's like my power tools. My power tools really get me hard. Some good stuff over there. It's all Hitachi battery based stuff, because back at that time when I was getting them, the Bosch battery system wasn't really that good. Oh yeah, selling more stuff. Selling more stuff. Hopefully very soon, but probably not very soon, because I'm lazy and I'm tied up in many other things, and I still have room to store stuff. The pressure is not high enough yet. Hopefully my workload is gonna reduce a little, and I'm gonna have time to sell some stuff, and I'm gonna be compensating for the loss of workload. I don't know. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Shall we wrap it up? Last chance to put in a comment or a question. No Trump questions, please. I should make Kexi. Let me. Oh, there. Can I make Kexi a moderator? Come on, Kexi. You're a moderator now. Yeah, I think at some time when you're a big social media celebrity like me, you need a moderator in your chat. Yeah, he's got a blue nickname now. Whoa, that's power. Oh yeah, running adapter through a store, that's like a no-go for me. I want to do a community group buy. I want to take like a 5% margin maybe, just to cover lost packages or something like that. It's a double-sided, it's a two-sided, it's a double-edged sword. Having all these shop run group buys, like the group buys that are happening are like amazing because there's so many going on. It's become such a big thing, but I kind of miss the good old community group buys. And if I ever run Adapter 2, it's gonna be such a bare community group buy that people are gonna be like, wow, that was community. I can feel it. Yeah, I'm tired now. What's up with you guys? Oh, Oblotsky. Yeah, your DHL didn't arrive today because otherwise I would be flapping it at the camera, wouldn't I? You've posted on Instagram. Isn't that the sign that we can flap? Flap. Oh, look at this. another funny story, because I think we're just gaining time now. I got a blue Yeti because I don't know. It's a black Yeti. No, because I wasn't super happy with the Biodynamics Fox here. But it's great. The Fox is great. But the Blue Yeti has stereo sound. I want to try both and then see what goes on. The funny thing is, the Blue Yeti, I got the Ghost Recon bundle. See, as $60 value, and it was actually, the Blue Yeti is usually 140 euros, and this one was just 100 euros. For some reason, it was Prime shipping. It was sold straight on Amazon, and it was $40 cheaper than the black version without the bundle. And I mean, I've been playing Ghost Recon Wildlands. I've been playing this game, and it's not a great game, but it doesn't add minus 40 euros value to the microphone. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's really fun. Oh, really? Yeti's part of my Logitech. Logitech's doing some great purchasing, I think. Didn't they buy something else that's good a while ago? I can't wait for the Logitech Harmony thing to become a bit more smart home. Yeah, Zambu, I was hoping that when I put the Yeti on stereo, that I was getting a bit more like a more of a being there with me effect when I do my build streams. Like when I grab something from this side of the table, it's gonna be like, oh, I can hear it in this ear, and when I do something on this side of the table, you can hear it in the other ear, giving because of the point of view of my videos, that you would actually hear the sounds the same way they are located relatively to the camera. Maybe if I can achieve this, that would be really great. I'm gonna be doing some testing around. Yeah, maybe Logitech is gonna bring out. Oh yeah, of course. I'm gonna do a Patreon for my Vodan ASMR. Please become a Patreon for my Patreon only videos, where I'm mostly going to show some more cleavage, and I'm definitely going to be able to deep throat this one. I'm not sure about the Yeti. Only the real pros can deep throat that one. Not sure if I'm that broke yet, but if you ever see me, then you know I've hit rock bottom. Yeah, of course. We should be getting some really good vintage blacks and then just type on them. And I am very certain some place of this planet people are gonna get off. But that applies to about anything that's happening in the internet. Good. Okay, guys, can we wrap this up? Has this been fun? It has. Yeah, I can see you nod. Yeah, definitely. Good point. Invisibility there. Thanks. Great input. I might be doing a recap of some of my boards that I've got in storage that I've even built not on stream, and I might tweak my microphone setup a little bit to give a better, pick up the typing sounds a bit better, and then do some typing. I'm gonna try and keep the parameters, the setup, very identical for all these boards, so you can get a comparative idea, a good comparison of how they sound when typed upon. I think it's always very difficult to convey the typing sound and typing feeling, but if you get them all recorded in a very similar manner, then you might be able to kind of get the differences and get an idea. Yeah, hopefully that works. Yeah, I've seen Nathan Kim's some of Nathan Kim's typing videos. Yeah, don't let this be you're don't expect that from me. Like I'm nowhere near that production level. I just hope to give you a nice comparative idea of how these boards sound. Oh, the Polycarb TX. Yeah, I've got a Polycarb TX. I think I built it with clears, and I've got some GMK Oblivion on there. And Oblotsky put these caps on himself, so it's pretty much blessed. Good. Yeah, a couple of words from my sponsors. Rigel. That's my boys Rigel there. Yeah, I bought 3 oscilloscopes from them, and I actually need 0. So I got this wrong. I'm sponsoring them. The only people that should be sponsoring me are like the people who make the beer that I drink here. That would be the kind of sponsoring that I would go for, because I wouldn't feel like whoring out, and I would get drunk in the process, making me feel better about everything anyway. So yeah, hit me up if you are selling beer. Oh, Sony could be sponsoring me as well. Sony, because I paid a lot for that camera. I want that money back. It's a great camera. I'm not even paid. Like, I should be waiting until I get paid. Keep calm. It's the YouTube thing. I got 100k subscribers now. Everything's possible. But it's really a great camera. The A6000. I'm amazed because I got like a much better camera from Canon, which is much bigger, and I've never taken it anywhere. And the A6000 is kind of like the size that you can still take with you and take pictures. And the best camera there is the one that you actually have with you and that you take pictures with. So yeah, lesson learned. Sony. Yeah, I'm new in the Sony territory. I've been a Canon guy for a long time, but Canon doesn't have the good HDMI output that Sony has. 60 frames. 60 frames. Yeah. If you saw those ninja moves, then you must have run the video at 50% speed, because I'm so fast. And 60 frames. Oh yeah, what's your Sony? Did you also get one of the mirrorless ones? Because I think the mirrorless ones are awesome. Like they do everything that I actually need. Did you try the HDMI output, Nathan? Oh, that's one of the big boy cameras, right? Yeah, that's the size of camera that I don't feel comfortable carrying around, because I always feel like I look like it makes me look a lot more professional than my photographs, like my photography actually is. It makes me look like a guy who's really serious about taking photos, and then I pick up this super huge DSLR and like automatic mode, snap, 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 and then throw away 95% of the pictures. Yeah, that's maybe I should get more self-confidence. Yeah, I really think DSLRs with a great, nice, clean HDMI out. I've done lots of testing here. My boy Nixie has really suffered together with me through all of my through the whole process of picking a good camera. I've tried some camcorders for streaming, and the camcorders they just don't kick it. A nice DSLR or mirrorless one is great. It's great for streaming. It's really good. I enjoy it, and it's got a dual use because you can take it out and you can take some pictures. Okay, guys, really, it's time for me to get a second beer because I'm starting to shake. Thanks very much for being here. Thanks very much for 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway in a different video because I haven't prepared anything. I'm gonna throw out some stuff because it's kind of the best thing to do. I've got a I've got a rabbit hole kit sitting back there that I haven't shipped out in ages. I'm gonna give that away. But you gotta pay shipping because you might live in a place where shipping's expensive, and it's more than 5 kilos, so shipping is pretty much like buying it. But still, you kind of win having to pay for shipping. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for being with this channel for such a long time. It's really fun. I'm enjoying this, and I hope you do too. Bye bye.